So my name is Omar Rampersad. It is 3:54 p.m., October 29, 2019. So I'm just going to make some comments about the tweets that I tweeted today, ROSHINI 911. Um, those tweets were mine, and I tweeted about a conspiracy to have me mentally committed. I also tweeted about some of my experiences I've had since I was flagged from this building, 25 Bamberg Circle. Nothing has been disclosed to me. The flag was not disclosed. I was never given due process. I'd imagine, based on the comments that I hear around me, that I get harassed with, basically, and lynched with, basically. The registration was done with the police. So it's been at least 10 years now, and publicly done, because the information that's used to flag me is in the public arena, and it's been talked about and talked about and talked about and talked about anywhere I go, including outside my window. More recently, outside the window quite a bit. Sometimes outside the door, but not as much. So mainly outside the window. It would seem that since I'm registered, anybody can go and take me out of the system. Anybody who makes contact with me. It could be via email, it could be via the phone, personally. As long as they make contact with me, they can take me out of the system and monitor me on behalf of the Toronto Police. At least this is what I understand, based on the harassment I'm experiencing. So the people whose name is on the account could subcontract to anybody, and the person who's subcontracting could contract out again. So, anybody could be following you, basically, based on the subcontracting. Just about anyone. Information is put out through about the target. Since you're flagged, you're a target, through the cell phones, text messages, alerts, websites, and so on. I even heard that there was a 1-800 number, and I even heard that there was a tracking app that tracked me. So you probably can hear the beeping that's going on from this spectrum analyzer. Um, the EMF reading is alarming because it's over 10, and that's where I set it. The EMF reading is quite low when I am not inside of the building. When I'm walking around, that EMF reading is almost zero, if not zero. But as soon as I walk into the compound, that EMF reading starts climbing. And I'm suspecting that that's an indication that I am being tracked. This goes up to these readings can go up quite high. Um, and I'm thinking that that indicates how many people are actually logged in. So that's this number here. Now this number here, and if you see right now, it's quite high. That's the electrical reading of this of whatever technology is being used. Um, if I were to plug this into a computer, you will see that this reading out here goes up to over 1500. So it flows in a range of 2000. I should say 1500 to about 2000 if it's plugged in to recharge. So right now it's actually just went up to over 1000. So I'm not quite sure where the electrical signals are coming from when it's close to me. Um, so it just went up to 1292. And I just got a pulse in my arm. And If you can see that there, it's which you probably can't see, but it's reading about 65, and then it goes right back down. But you can actually see the graph as well. It's going up and down, up and down. So anyway, as I was saying, the signals that I'm recording and documenting indicates that I am being tracked. And it makes it almost certain that I am being tracked if you combine the signals that I'm documenting to the comments outside the window that I get all the time. So I am being tracked, and it is directly related to the flag. So I am in the job market, and I'm posting this video to say that whatever is reported about me are lies. Even if the cops are involved and the cops are saying they're verifying certain things, there is no such thing as verification unless the person who is being reported on is interviewed. There is no such thing as absoluted, as a claim being absoluted, unless there is due process, unless both sides of the story is heard. The cops are not, they're not charged with the duty of determining guilt or innocence. They can charge somebody, that's within their power. If someone charges you knowing that the charge will not hold, then that's a criminal offense. Not doing proper due diligence, keeping in mind that charging somebody has a permanent detrimental effect on the person, psychologically, emotionally, it's defamatory, keeping all these very serious repercussions of putting a charge through. If a cop does not do proper due diligence, that's a criminal act. That's negligence of duties. So let me get back to my point. While it is within the power of the cops to investigate, it's not within their power to determine guilt or innocence. They cannot verify something true that's been claimed about somebody if the person is not questioned. It cannot be verified. Someone being guilty or innocent is not verified. Guilt or innocence is determined in a court of law. Now, if guilt or innocence is being determined in a different way right now, then this is bypassing the system. And this is a conspiracy. It's illegal. It's also a conspiracy. If the intent is to bypass the system, it is a conspiracy. If the intent is to deny somebody their voice and suppress the person's voice intentionally to bypass the system of due process, then that's a conspiracy. If anything is verified as a result of a conspiracy, that too is a conspiracy and a lie, because it cannot be verified without questioning the other person. So I'm here to say that whatever is verified and whatever is reported about me is not true. If there was any truth to it, I would be charged with the let me say that again. If there's truth and real evidence, and the unbiased cop thinks that I am really guilty and not taking part in the conspiracy, then I would be charged. Because I was charged before, and the cop did not do proper due diligence. And what I was charged on for had no chance in hell to stand in court, because proper due diligence was not done. So, if proper due diligence is done and real evidence is gathered, and there exists real evidence and not just suspicions and hearsay and sworn affidavits that's been that's really people perjuring themselves, taking part in the conspiracy, knowing that they will get away with it because I'm a target. If you take those away, there is no evidence of any wrongdoing. Because all the evidence, so-called evidence that's presented, is a direct result of my being flagged. It's being made to happen. There is a conspiracy to create misinformation that can be viewed as evidence, that can be used in a court of law. If that so-called evidence is created as part of a conspiracy or as a result of a conspiracy, it will not stand up in court. Because once the conspiracy is proven, and it is proven by default because the system is being bypassed, it will not stand up in court. So the reports that's being made about me are based on lies and are not true. So I'm in the job market, so I'm saying to prospective employers that to ignore the reports about me that is in the public arena and take it as lies, because basically that's what it is. It's part of a targeting program covering up trafficking, remote trafficking. And of course, I'm not the only one who's being trafficked. I'm not the only one who's on the list. And really, you don't have to be on a list to be trafficked, as we all know. So there are many, 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 many other people like myself who's not talking. They're scared out of their minds to talk. They're being hit with directed energy weapons, which are being used to set up and frame the person, because once you're hit with these weapons, then it causes certain reactions. And those reactions can be recorded and taken as evidence that you're mentally ill. It's set up in a frame. Because certain technologies will create certain reactions, will cause certain reactions that you have no control over, especially physical reactions like being mentally lethargic when you're hit on the head with a frequency beam. That makes you lethargic and makes you sick and makes you dizzy. You really don't have any control over that, but it will make you look like that you're slow, or that the effects of that can be taken as being slow and retarded, which is exactly what happens. The effects are created and then the effects are reported as a mental illness. It's all a conspiracy. So to employers out there is absolutely nothing wrong with me. There is absolutely nothing wrong with me. The reports that's being made about me are all lies. The police who are taking part in the program are targeting me. I'm being profiled, I'm being targeted, I'm being trafficked. That involves the Toronto police. So what they're saying are basically lies. What they're saying about me are basically lies, at least what I'm hearing out of other people's mouth. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with me. I am in the job market, and I'm hoping to hear from the people I'm sending my resumes out to. Talk to you another time.